Hi there, boys and girls. Thanksgiving's coming up in just a few days, so I thought we would read One Tough Turkey. It's written by Stephen Kroll and illustrated by John Wallner. This is an older book, but it's a good one. When the Pilgrims had lived through their first year in the New World, and it was time for the first Thanksgiving, everyone wanted turkey. But it was hard to catch turkeys. They were all wild in the woods. "Go and get them," said the governor. That's like the boss, the governor. "Okay," said Captain Bill Fritz, the chief turkey catcher. Captain Bill shouldered his musket, and he gathered his 10 best men and his son Chris. Together they set off for the woods in pursuit of wild turkeys. There was just one thing that they hadn't counted on. Out in the woods was one tough turkey. His name was Solomon. As Captain Bill and his men came tramping across the field, Solomon watched them, and they didn't look very friendly. Solomon rushed back to the bushes. Then he put up a big sign. It said, "No turkeys. Turkeys flown south for the winter." Some animals fly south, where it's going to be warmer. They move and migrate to a new place for the winter. "What is this?" said Captain Bill. "It's a big sign," said Chris. "I know that," said Captain Bill, "but what does it mean?" "It means these turkeys are big liars. Turkeys don't fly south for the winter." "Then let's go get 'em," said Captain Bill. He waved his musket in the direction of the woods. Solomon ran and found his wife Regina and his 2 children, Lavinia and Alfred. He rushed them to the edge of the woods. "You see those pilgrims?" he said. "They want us turkeys for Thanksgiving, and we've got to stop them." "Right," said Regina. "Right," said Lavinia and Alfred. Quickly, Lavinia and Alfred strung a rope between the trees, and as Captain Bill and his men marched forward into the woods, they tripped and fell over the rope. While they lay there, stunned, Regina put up another sign. It said, "Pilgrims, go home." "What do you think of that?" said Captain Bill. "They must not like us," said Chris. "Well, I'll tell you something," said Captain Bill. "We haven't come all this way from England to be treated like a bunch of turkeys." "That's right," said Chris. "Right on," said his 10 best men. At that moment, they heard some gobbling behind a tree. Captain Bill placed a finger over his lips. "Shh," and gestured with his hand. "I think we've got one," he whispered. Everyone tiptoed toward the tree. But suddenly, there was some gobbling behind a second tree, and then a third tree. The pilgrims didn't know which turkey to pursue first. "Split into groups, and we'll get them all," whispered Captain Bill. But no one knew which group to join, or which group should catch which turkey. They all got so confused, they couldn't move. There's a turkey gobbling behind one tree. Then they heard it behind another tree, and then another tree. Which turkey should they catch? Solomon had placed himself behind the first tree. Regina was behind the second, and Alfred and Lavinia, they were behind the third. With the pilgrims so mixed up, there was plenty of time to escape. All 4 of them ran deep into the woods to warn the other turkeys. "Run!" shouted Solomon. "Hide in the deepest part of the woods. The pilgrims are coming." When the turkeys had all fled, Solomon, Regina, Alfred, and Lavinia returned to the Pilgrims. Captain Bill and his men had regrouped in the middle of the field. They were coming closer. "I think they're in that clump of trees," said Captain Bill, pointing. Solomon looked at Lavinia and Alfred. "You know those big bag of old feathers that we've been saving to make pillows?" Lavinia and Alfred nodded. "I have an idea." When Solomon had explained, the four of them gathered up their biggest bags of old feathers. They hoisted them high up into the trees, and as the Pilgrims reached the right spot, Solomon, Regina, Alfred, and Lavinia beat on those bags with sticks. They have bags full of old feathers. And when you hit a bag full of old feathers, all at once, the Pilgrims were covered in old turkey feathers. "Surprise!" the four turkeys yelled, and then they raced away into the woods. Gobble, 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 gobble. They got covered with old turkey feathers. "Do you think they'll leave us alone now?" Regina asked as they ran. "I don't know," said Solomon. "You can't ever be too sure with these Pilgrims." But just then, Chris jumped out from behind a tree and landed on Lavinia. "I've got you, turkey," he shouted. Lavinia wriggled out from under Chris and dashed into the field. Alfred ran after her. "Look," shouted Captain Bill, "turkeys!" The Pilgrims aimed their muskets. Lavinia and Alfred ducked. Then there was a loud boom, but no one was hurt. Solomon raced out of the woods. He fluffed up his feathers and charged at the Pilgrims. They hardly noticed him. They were too busy reloading their muskets. "Father," said Chris, "another turkey." Captain Bill looked up just in time. "Get him!" he shouted. Solomon took off across the field. He ran around the clump of trees. He ran in and out of the woods. The Pilgrims chased after him, trying to reload their muskets as they ran. They huffed and puffed, but they weren't as fast or as smart as Solomon. He led them right through the worst briar patch in the whole woods. Briars are stickers. They're chasing him right into stickers. "Yow!" shouted the 10 best men. "Help!" cried Chris. "I've had enough of these turkeys," said Captain Bill. "We're going home." Solomon raced to where the other turkeys were hiding deep in the woods. "We fixed them," he shouted. "Those Pilgrims won't be eating turkey this Thanksgiving." "Hooray!" said the turkeys. "Gobble, gobble, gobble, gobble." Back in Plymouth Colony, Captain Bill had to explain to the governor what had happened. "But what about our first Thanksgiving?" said the governor. Remember, that's the boss. "We've got no turkeys." Captain Bill rubbed his brow. "Why not just have squash for Thanksgiving? We'll just pretend that we ate turkey." And that's exactly what they did. The Pilgrims ate a lot of squash at the first Thanksgiving. Everyone just thinks they ate turkey. The end. hadn't counted on Solomon. One tough turkey. I hope you enjoyed today's story. And happy birthday, Parker. Sorry we don't have school today, but we'll do some special birthday stuff when we come back. I sure do miss you guys. Have a great Thanksgiving break. Bye-bye.